Japanese walking versus slow jogging. Which is better for beginners? Japanese walking and slow jogging have something important in common. Both offer a simpler way to improve your cardiovascular fitness without traditional hard running. But they're actually very different workouts. One alternates between fast and slow walking. The other asks you to jog, sometimes at a pace that may feel almost ridiculously slow. So if you're a beginner, which one should you actually choose? Let's compare them on effort, joint impact, cardiovascular fitness, weight management, and, probably most importantly, which one you're more likely to stick with. And at the end, I'll tell you which one I'd recommend if you're starting from zero. Let's start with Japanese walking, more accurately called interval walking training. The basic method is simple. Walk fast for 3 minutes, then walk slowly for 3 minutes, repeat that cycle 5 times for a 30-minute workout. The fast portion should feel genuinely challenging, not an ordinary stroll, while the slower 3 minutes allow you to recover before doing it again. This method came from researchers in Japan who studied middle-aged and older adults. In a major study, participants doing interval walking improved aerobic capacity and leg strength and reduced blood pressure more than participants assigned to continuous moderate walking. So despite the trendy name, Japanese walking isn't simply another social media fitness invention. The underlying interval walking protocol has been studied for years. On the other hand, slow jogging takes almost the opposite approach. Instead of changing between fast and slow intervals, you maintain a very easy jogging pace. The idea was popularized by Japanese exercise physiologist Professor Hiroaki Tanaka. The key isn't speed, it's effort. You should be moving at a pace comfortable enough that you aren't gasping for breath. For a complete beginner, that pace may actually be slower than someone walking briskly beside you. And that's perfectly fine. The objective isn't to prove you're a runner. It's to introduce your body gradually to jogging while keeping the effort manageable. For someone starting from absolutely zero, Japanese walking wins this one. You're still walking. There is no requirement to become airborne with every stride, and you get a 3-minute easy recovery period after every harder interval. Slow jogging is deliberately gentle, but it is still jogging. That means every stride includes a brief flight phase and generally places greater mechanical demands on the body than walking. If you've been sedentary for years, you're carrying significant excess body weight, or you're simply nervous about starting exercise, walking is usually the easier entry point. Winner for accessibility, Japanese walking. This is where Japanese walking has particularly strong evidence. The original Japanese research compared interval walking with continuous moderate walking. After 5 months, the interval group showed greater improvements in peak aerobic capacity as well as thigh strength and blood pressure. Later research involving hundreds of participants also found that the amount of higher intensity walking performed was strongly associated with improvements in aerobic fitness and health measures. Why? Because those fast 3-minute intervals force your cardiovascular system to work harder before the recovery period lets you bring the intensity back down. Slow jogging can absolutely provide aerobic exercise too. But if we're asking which of these two methods currently has the clearer research-backed protocol for improving cardiovascular fitness in beginners and older adults, Japanese walking gets the edge. Walking wins mechanically. During walking, at least one foot remains in contact with the ground. Jogging introduces a flight phase, followed by landing. Slow jogging aims to keep the impact manageable with easy pacing and light steps, but it doesn't turn jogging into walking. So if impact is your primary concern, Japanese walking is the more conservative starting point. That doesn't mean slow jogging is automatically bad for your joints. It simply means you're asking your body to tolerate a different movement and loading pattern, and that's something beginners should build gradually. Lower impact choice, Japanese walking. This one needs some honesty. Neither method magically causes fat loss. Your overall energy balance still matters. Jogging generally requires more energy per unit of distance than walking, so slow jogging can potentially lead to greater energy expenditure, depending on your pace, body size, and exercise duration. But Japanese walking has another advantage. You may find it easier to perform consistently and for longer. And consistency matters far more than choosing the theoretically perfect exercise that you stop doing after 2 weeks. So I wouldn't choose between these two based purely on calorie estimates. I'd choose the one you're realistically going to repeat week after week. This may actually decide the whole comparison. Japanese walking gives you structure. 3 minutes hard, 3 minutes easy. Repeat. You always know when recovery is coming. That can make a 30-minute workout psychologically easier. Slow jogging gives you something different. Freedom. There's no constant timer telling you to speed up or slow down. Find an easy, sustainable rhythm and keep moving. Some people will love the structure of intervals. Others will hate watching the clock and prefer simply jogging gently. So here, there isn't a scientific winner. The winner is whichever one makes you think, I could actually do this again tomorrow. If you are completely new to exercise, my recommendation would be start with Japanese walking. It has a lower barrier to entry, lower impact, built-in recovery periods, and good research behind this specific training protocol. Once fast walking begins to feel comfortable and you want another challenge, try introducing slow jogging. You don't even need to choose permanently. You could progress naturally. Regular walking. Then Japanese interval walking. Then short periods of slow jogging. Then longer periods of easy jogging as your fitness improves. Think of them as different points on the same progression rather than competing fitness camps. So the final score isn't really Japan versus Japan. Japanese walking is probably the better starting point. Slow jogging may become the better next step if you enjoy jogging and your body tolerates it well. The important thing isn't whether you're walking or jogging. It's finding an intensity you can recover from, progressively challenging yourself, and continuing long enough for your body to adapt. Which would you rather try? 3-minute Japanese walking intervals or continuous slow jogging? Let me know below. Train smarter, not harder. Thanks for watching.